New South Wales considers overhauling its quarantine system used for airline crew staying in Sydney. 13 crew have been fined for allegedly failing to follow self-isolation procedures earlier this month. Authorities are in a race against time to track and trace close contacts ahead of Christmas next week.
The Northern Beaches cluster has grown to 28. 25 have been linked to the Avalon Bowlo or RSL. Chief Health Officer Dr. Kerry Chant couldn't rule out patient zero may have already left the country. Her team have, however, identified a close match.
It showed an international strain of the likely US origins. We have found a case in a returned traveller where there are some similarities. That person was in a police hotel, then became unwell, and then was transferred to the Sydney Health Accommodation Hotel.
Under the current guidelines, aircrew are not required to go into mandatory hotel quarantine like returned travellers. There's been speculation the source of the outbreak may have been an aircrew worker who didn't self-isolate. The Premier has revealed there was a recent breach, but not on the Northern Beaches.
I can confirm without outing the particular airline, there was one airline crew a few weekends ago that actually breached their isolation and went out to venues.
As a result, the government will implement a new process next week.
At this stage, the usual protocol is that aircrew go to their designated hotel, depending on where the airline takes them. And there are 25 or 26 different hotels where the aircrew are located, which makes it very difficult to police. From Tuesday, I can confirm, given the good work the Minister for Health has done with his colleagues, as have the New South Wales Police, that from Tuesday there'll be 2 designated hotels for all aircrew.
Despite the breach occurring a number of weeks ago, the government hasn't implemented changes until now.
I understand that this is a very delicate situation that we need airlines to keep bringing people home, but if there was a breach a few weeks ago, how long ago is a few weeks ago?
Oh, look, it's only...
It's today's Friday, and by Tuesday we'll see those changes, so why won't they...
National diplomacy with more than nearly 90 crews, 90 airlines, takes a little while, but we've been working on it and doing that at the same time as we manage everything else.
While the focus remains on the Northern Beaches, the Premier said there's potential seeding in other suburbs and advised the broader community to be on high alert. The growing list of locations along the Northern Beaches can be found on the New South Wales Health website. Authorities admit some venues have been better than others at keeping records.
Some venues have been outstanding in their QR codes and keeping records of who's been at those venues. Some others have been absolutely hopeless.
Local residents will hopefully have to stay home for only another 2 days.
If we get on top of this in the next 2 or 3 days, all of us will be able to have a much better Christmas. But if we don't get on top of it in the next few days, it could mean further restrictions down the track. We don't want to go for that.
Charlotte Mortlock, Sky News, Sydney.